definitely. Back when I was 22 years old, which was not too long ago, I was running a half marathon, and I was a tenth of a mile from the finish. And the next thing I realized, I was waking up in the emergency room, and I've kind of realized that my heart had stopped completely. I had heart damage and broke my jaw, and basically that I was lucky to be alive, and my heart had restarted on its own. And basically it was a heart attack when it happened. So. When I woke up, there were nurses and doctors all around me running tests, had IVs in me, things that were just happening. They were running, CAT scans, whatever else they needed to go. And they had no clue what was wrong. They just knew that I had heart damage because of some tests they had ran, and then they didn't know why. It was confusing at first, but as it went on, I was actually at very peace. It was very different from what I've expected to have happened. It gave me a realization that God was real, that Christ was there, and that he was holding me in his hands. It was that point where I wasn't scared to die, that I knew that Jesus was real. In fact, that he was the ultimate truth, and that out of everything else that you could have experienced in the world, that Jesus was the ultimate experience and the ultimate thing that you could hold on to, and that after this world is over, that Jesus is actually there waiting for you. And this nurse was sitting there, and the thing that kept prompting me was to ask this woman if she knew who Jesus Christ was. And at that moment, I realized that that was the most important thing in my life, and that I couldn't let one more moment go by without living my life for Christ in a way that's out loud, I guess. All I could do was walk to class. It had to be a slow pace. I couldn't excite myself at all for about a month. And then once I had my heart surgery, they said a week to 10 days, and I could go run a marathon if I wanted to. Yeah, it was great. It was something I've never experienced before, because I had to move at a fast pace before, because that's how the world was moving too. But now I was on strict orders that I couldn't, or else my health was in jeopardy. And so to slow down and to realize how important certain things were in life, and to enjoy them for what they were, because I couldn't join the crazy pace of what everybody else was doing. It just gave me an overwhelming sense of just gratitude for what I already had in life, and that I took it for granted before when I was moving so fast. Yeah, I can talk about my story as much as I want and try to get that across to people, but the truth of the gospel of Christ is what's going to make that difference, is what's going to bring about the realization to somebody that they only have one life, one chance, and there's only one God who can give that peace and give that eternity to. And so, yeah, I can't do it on my own. I don't have the words necessary to give that realization to somebody, but I have a message that can change hearts. My name is Matthew Cavledge, and I only have one life in this one body.